playing days with the side. The new deal, great news for the player, especially interesting when you consider Roma was trying to sell the forward last summer after a disappointing season. Montella and Roma also expected to be jacked up for this one because they're fighting for a UEFA Cup spot, while Regina is looking to stay away from the drop zone. Carlos has the highlights.
Roma in dark, they would score inside of the first quarter hour. It's Christian Kivu with this strike beating Salvatore Sovero. Goal in the 24th as Kivu scores his second of the season, gets around Mesto easily, and a fantastic strike that had the keeper standing flat-footed. 1-0 at halftime. Second half, Regina would pull one back. Gianluca Curci with the save, but Marco Borriello kicks the ball out of his hands, and Ivan Franceschini would then poke it in. Goal in the 72nd, despite the protest by Curci. His argument was that he had the ball initially when Borriello kicked it out of his hands. The ball would then roll just before the line, and Franceschini was there to knock it in. 10 minutes later, Regina would cap the comeback. Ball falls for Emiliano Bonazzoli. He shields the ball, then spins and strikes, and he catches the far corner on Curci. Goal in the 82nd minute, 2-1 Regina. The strike takes a slight deflection and still finds the corner. Regina pick up the victory and snap a 4-game losing streak in what's with AS Roma. 6 losses in their last 8 games, just 1 win and 1 draw. They're sliding down the Serie A table and are out of European spots for next season. Regina beating Roma 2-1.
Carlos, thank you. 2 other games in the Italian top ultimately saw them emerge from the smoke, a 3-0 winner. As for Juventus, their Champions League run was put to an end at the Stadio delle Alpi by a determined Liverpool. Sunday, the points co-leaders returned to league play, keen to refocus on the Scudetto chase. Carlos has the highlights of Sunday's big Italian matches.
Co-leaders of the Serie A, Juventus, winners of 6 of their last 8, played host to 14th place Lecce. Lecce would get on the board first. Mirko Vucinic with his back to the open goal. He scores, giving Lecce the lead, beating Gigi Buffon 1-0 after 7. 8 minutes later, the Lecce defense were hoping for the offside call. It never came. Steven Appia goes around Vincenzo Signano, and it's 1-1 after 16. 15 minutes later, another questionable offside that wasn't called. It's Zlatan Ibrahimovic on the left side. He cuts inside, then puts it through the legs of Signano. That's his first of the game, coming in the 34th. 2-1 for Juve. 2 minutes before halftime, Juve would find their way through the Lecce defense again. Pavel Nedved across to Zlatan. He scores a second to make it 3-1 at halftime. 11 minutes into the second half, here's Nedved from well out. He drops it into the left side behind Signano. Juve comfortably in front, 4-1. Now in the last 10 minutes of play, ball to the left side for Zlatan. He's got lots of time to make something nice, and he finds the right side to make it 5-1, his 3rd goal of the game. Goals 13, 14, and 15 for the Swedish international. Lecce did add one more in the 89th, Samuel Della Bona with a penalty kick goal, but the damage was already done. Juve sting Lecce for 5 and put the pressure on AC Milan, who are away to Sampdoria in another of Sunday's matches. Knowing that Juve had won earlier in the day, AC Milan needed full points versus 17th place Siena, that to hold on to a share of first place. Second half, Hernan Crespo would put this through the legs of Alex Manager, his 10th goal of the Serie A season, and it came in the 63rd, 1-0 Milan. 9 minutes later, corner Siena. Enrico Chiesa hits the post but grabs his own rebound. He beats Nelson Dita. Goal in the 72nd. 1-1 at this point, and fans at Artemio Franchi Stadium very happy. If they were jumping for joy then, this made them ecstatic. Francesco Cozza on the far side heads it in 4 minutes from full time. Siena with the lead 2-1, and it's a lead they would not give up. It's 3 huge points for the relegation-threatened team. Siena snatched the most unlikeliest of victories. They beat AC Milan 2-1. Coach Roberto Mancini and his Inter side back in action after being eliminated from the Champions League and subsequently fined by UEFA. On Sunday, they were up against Cagliari, and they score inside the first 45 minutes. Obafemi Martins across to Zé Maria, and he beats Gennaro Iezzo to give Inter a 1-0 lead. 20 minutes into the second half, Inter would add to their lead, but it looked as though Obafemi Martins tripped up Alessandro Agostini. The referee said play on. Martins goes around Iezzo to score to make it 2-0 with this goal in the 65th. It's the Nigerian international's 9th goal of the season. Inter have now won 3 straight games in the Serie A and 4 of their last 5 as they beat Cagliari a final of 2-0 at the set.
Because it was their assignment with that champion.